Now we are with Zarrilli, also known as Vitorino Voador. We are in Lisbon in FNAC after a concert to present his new album. And we want to ask you something. First of all, why? What happened to your hand?
This is a really stupid story. I'm not sure if I should tell you, but this happened at home. I was running on a big corridor I have in my house. Something I've been doing for 20 years. That's how long I've been living there. And this time I don't know why I missed doing a so my hand paid the price, and now I have this.
Yes, but you managed in playing guitar.
Yeah, I usually play piano more than guitar, but it's impossible to play piano like this. Well, it's funny, but doesn't sound good.
Yes, I don't. And another question: why Vitorino Voador?
The name, if I had to translate it, it would mean something like flying vitrine. Vitrine is a name, and it would mean flying vitrine. It has to do with two stories with one of my bands. That's called Diabo na Cruz. And I remember on our first concert, or second maybe, there were a few posters of the concerts we were doing in several cities, and one of them had our names written, and mine was João Gil Vitorino. That I never really.
For mysterious reasons.
I don't know why, but I have a few ideas, but I can't say for sure. And in a different concert, our bass player took a photo of me jumping in a gas station in the middle of Portugal, and I was really jumping high, and he took a photograph. And when he sent me the photo, he signed, there you go, Vitorino Voador, and this was a long time ago. Now, when I was composing the songs and was trying to figure out what name I should give to this thing I was doing, I started to read books and, well, trying to get ideas from different places, and then I remember the name, and I think it was perfect.
Yeah, it works.
It has something to do with me, so perfect.
A kind of superhero. I don't know that.
But that's the thing about Vitorino Voador. There's a character behind this. If you see the record, you'll see it is a superhero. He is a superhero. It's a story I'm writing as I'm doing the songs, you know. So I hope it continues to grow like it is now.
And when did you start as Vitorino Voador? I mean, with this solo.
When did I start?
Yeah. When and why?
This started, I don't know, maybe 8 months ago, maybe a bit more, when I was doing a lot of songs, but I didn't, the songs I was doing, they didn't fit the other bands, you know. They were not the same, they were different from our style of music, and it didn't fit in any of the bands. So after some time I started to feel bad for not playing those songs, you know. I was doing those songs and I really liked them and wanted to play those songs. So I thought to myself, well, it's time to do something in my own name, something of mine that I don't have to ask anyone for opinions. I can do whatever I want, I can say whatever I want, and that's how it started. And here we are.
So, as a Vitorino, you started just a few months ago, but as a musician, when did you start?
No, a long time ago.
Which is your musical history, let's say?
I started to play when I was maybe 7 years old, guitar, classic guitar. I remember a cousin of mine went to visit me. He's 2 years older than me, and he had a guitar. And I remember him getting there and showing me the guitar, and I thought, well, this is amazing. I started to play. I played really bad. I couldn't do the chords or anything, but I loved the feeling of trying to play, and so I went to my parents and I convinced them to give me one. They did, and I started to play guitar, and after a few years I started to study guitar, and when I was 21 I started to play piano. I started really late, but I'm not going to say it's my main instrument, but it's probably the one where I compose most of my songs. But I like to play both instruments.
And you started with some band?
Yeah. As strange as you may think, I started playing with metal bands. It doesn't sound like metal, but
not very much.
But the truth is, it's part of me too. I can say that 2 days ago I was working on my computer, and I went to YouTube, and I don't know why I remembered Pantera. Do you remember the band? It's a metal band called Pantera. Well, I listened a lot to them when I was a kid. So I went to YouTube. I wrote one of their album names, and I listened to the whole album, like I was back there, and back then listening to it was great. There's been a lot of styles of music during my whole life. I studied jazz, but I also loved classic music. I loved rock. I loved grunge when Nirvana was the band. I was 14 back then, so it was something I really felt and changed me. I can't say for sure which style of music influences me more, but I think it's the sum of it all that makes Vitorino Voador sound like this.
And which are the artists that you like more?
That's a hard question, because I always feel bad for not saying some names. There's tons of bands I could mention. There's one that's really important to me and made me evolve as a musician. It's Radiohead, probably the most influential band for me. But there's a lot of Elliott Smith. It's Brad Meldo. He's a jazz pianist. I don't know, so many bands, so many styles. It's hard to say, but Radiohead for sure. It's my favorite band, so I have to. Beatles, Radiohead, and Beatles.
And you also are played with many other bands, as you told me. You can be Charlie Brown, Tigururao, and others.
Yeah, the bands I'm playing, Charlie Brown, Diabo na Cruz, are the main bands. Tigururao, I played with them as a side, how do you say?
Side guest.
As a guest. But those two bands are the main band.
And so, how do you split yourself between two bands and one solo project?
It's not that hard. If one of those bands had like 200 concerts a year, that would be hard to manage. But I don't have 200 concerts with any of the bands, so I try to work things out when someone announces a concert. I try to tell every other band so that they don't schedule concerts for that day. And the same thing with the rehearsals and all the work behind the music. But After a few years, you start to yeah.
What do you think about this musical scene in Lisbon that seems absolutely outstanding? But I want to know your opinion. Stand inside.
It's great to hear that from someone from outside of Portugal. I'm an optimistic guy about the music in Portugal, not just in Lisbon. I think there's a lot of bands doing amazing music in Portugal. Okay, Lisbon, it's where most of the bands are probably, but there's a lot of stuff outside of Lisbon too, in Porto, in Alentejo. Well, there's a lot of bands doing great music. I'm proud. It's not because I'm Portuguese, because I love music. I would be proud to if they were from other countries. It's great to see great music being done by great musicians. I just hope we have the same opportunities as bands in other countries that are more. I'm not sure how to say, but well, I want to have the same opportunities to be able to play outside of Portugal too, to be able to play in Portugal and present my music in every place possible, and that's what I think about it. Well, speaking of your question, the musical scene, I think we are in a good spot right now, and I think we are showing people that we also do good music and we deserve the same opportunities.
And how do you explain this? That maybe in 10 years there is this kind of explosion of creativity.
I don't have an explanation, but when I think about it, I think we were talking about that before the interview, and I think the internet, it has a great how do you say, a great influence in this, because now we can listen to anything we want in seconds, you know? Something that it's being done in the United States or in Japan or whatever. After a few seconds we can listen to that, so it's not that hard to absorb the influences from outside, you know. So we end up doing. I think we are at the same level as any other country, because there's nothing stopping us from getting to the music, and our music also gets anywhere in a few seconds. I can't say for sure how things will be in 10 years, but I hope we are still in a good place and doing better music than we are doing now, and well, let's see.
And you are working to another album, I heard.
It's a good thing I'm working alone. That's one of the things that made me want to have a solo project, a solo. Well, something just done by me is the fact that I can make music anytime. I can make a new record in April, and I can make a new one in August, and I can do 10 albums a year if I want to. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I don't have that thing, but I compose a lot of music, so it's good because I know every year I will have new stuff to show. If people like my music, they can expect to listen to new things. Well, they won't have to wait for 2 or 3 or 5 years to hear something new. It's something I can do between when I'm not playing with my bands. I'm doing my own stuff, and I have time for myself. So there's a lot of music.
How will this new album sound like?
It will sound well. It will sound like the one I presented here, but with new stuff. I don't want to bother people with the same thing all over and over, you know. So I started to introduce new elements to the songs. This record is more, how do you say, more raw. You have acoustic stuff, but even the electronic stuff, I don't have a lot of instruments. It's a simple thing. On the new album, I will have strings.
Real strings or
real strings.
So you will have also guests, or are you playing them?
I have guests too. Well, I try to play everything by myself in the first record. I don't play trumpet that well, but I recorded one. So the trumpets you listen in my record were played by me. That's why they sound like they were played by a 1-year-old or 2-year-old boy. So, well, there are babies that play better trumpet than me. So. I wish I could play like them, but on this record I will have my friends, guys I studied with, but musicians I respect a lot, and I love the music they do, and they will participate in the recording. I'm going to have strings, how do you say, trumpets, and well. More voices, more of everything. Drums. I didn't have real drums on my first record, and I want to have drums now. Try to listen to sound different, but at the same time, people will recognize there's
the style. Yeah. And for the same label, or have you found another label? Who will?
No, the same label. This label I'm working with, it's a small label, but that's the thing I like most about it. They are really doing stuff for the music. They spend their time trying to make things better for me. I'm a lucky guy. I work with the best person ever.
And will you produce it by yourself, or
yeah, produced by me?
You will have a producer.
It's not just by me. How do you say? I'm missing some words. I will record things at home, like I did on the first record. A few instruments I can't. The drums, for example, I have to record somewhere else. Maybe the strings too. But at the end, I will have a friend of mine mixing the songs. I don't want to do that because I did that on the first record, and after a few days I was going crazy with the songs, and I started to hate the songs, you know. I listened to them too many times. So I will have a friend of mine mixing. The master will be done by another, but try to keep it between friends, you know, like I did on the first record, and I hope it's possible. I think so.
Okay. And will you make some concerts as Vitorino Voador?
Yeah. I'm trying to schedule concerts now to present a bit more of my music of the first record, but I have to stop so that I can make more concerts after to present the new album, you know. If I play too much now, then there won't be a reason to play again after a few weeks, you know. So, but it's the thing I like to do most, to play live and talk to people and show them my music.
But when you make concert, or when the concert you are going to make, you will need other musicians, or
musicians.
You will try to do everything by yourself?
When I started this, I was doing all the music at home, and I recorded a lot of instruments. I can't play them alone live. I have to reduce and just play guitar or piano. But I thought it might be a good idea to have different. For example, to be able to play alone, so that I could play in smaller places. To have one more person with me, so that I could play in festivals, smaller festivals, but in bigger rooms, you know. and a full band, you know, a whole band to play in bigger places to present my music with a different arrangement. And I love that because I love to rearrange my own songs, because I start to get sick of them after 20 times of playing those songs. I want to listen to them in a different way, and this makes it possible for me to do. When I play alone, maybe I play guitar and voice. When I play with another friend of mine, he brings an old radio and a few machines and introduces the electronic side. With the whole band, I can play lots of guitars and distortions and make it, I don't know, I'm just giving examples that some of these things I didn't even try, but I'm sure they will sound good if they were played with other musicians, you know. It's going to be a nice experience. But right now I only play it alone and with with a friend of mine that plays with me. He mixed the album.
So, thank you very much, and we wish you all the best and a good flight.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. Fly between flights. Thank you.
Okay.